and welcome to Platizio Alternatives. Real estate has always been one of India's most familiar and preferred asset classes. But investing in real estate through professionally managed AIF is very different from directly buying a land, plot, flat, or commercial property. Today, we will learn about Bharat Bhoomi Fund, also referred to as Bharat Value Fund Series 5, a real estate focused Category 2 AIF by the Wealth Company. The fund will add value by converting land parcels into plotted development in growth corridors of top Indian cities like Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad. To discuss this, we have with us Mr. Rakesh Kumar, Managing Partner at the Wealth Company. He brings deep experience in real estate, especially land related transactions, with over 2 decades of leadership experience across organizations such as Shell, Walmart, Geo, and Reliance Petroleum. We also have with us Mr. Vivek Chaturvedi, founder of Platizio Services LLP. He's a certified financial planner and MBA with over 30 years of experience across financial services and international business.
Welcome to Platizio Alternatives, Rakesh ji. Thanks for accepting our invite to talk about Bharat Bhoomi Fund, a unique offering in the Cat 2 AIF space that creates value by converting raw land into plotted development across 5 Indian cities.
Namaskar. Thank you so much for inviting to the show and looking forward to a great interaction.
Thank you, Rakesh ji. So to start with, I would like to ask, real estate is familiar to most Indian investors, but they are not familiar with how AIFs invest in real estate. Would you like to explain a bit about this through Bharat Bhoomi Fund example?
See, Bharat Bhoomi Fund is a SEBI-registered Cat 2 AIF. Sorry. And what do we do in Cat 2 AIF? We pool capital from investors and deploy it carefully into selected plotted development across high growth infra-led projects in India. So instead of buying one property and managing every aspect yourself, investors participate in a professionally managed portfolio with institutional due diligence, active project oversight, diversification across projects, and a defined exit strategy. It offers access to opportunities that are typically available only to institutional investors. So we are actually democratizing the investment across the landscape of land.
Mhm. I think in our earlier interaction, I think you have told about an analogy with mutual fund, similar to like a mutual fund pools in money, and there is a fund manager who takes care of the interest of the investor. Can you explain it in this aspect, please?
Exactly. So to simplify it further, I can say that, for example, when you want to invest as an individual in capital market and want to invest in a share, so a person has to do a lot of research on which share to buy, what is the industry trend, and all that. So rather than going to that thing, we a person goes to a mutual fund, selects a good mutual fund house with a good track record, and they say, fine, they have a team which has a due diligence backbone, which has got a great research team in hand. I will park the money in that mutual fund, which will take care of my investment through proper due diligence, research, and a great management team. So AIF is doing the same thing for a land buyer, that instead of buying one plot, going from city to city, finding a great location and doing a due diligence and all, and exiting also, they come to AIF and they get invest there, they get a return. So their exit also is managed, their entry also is managed well.
It's very interesting, I think. And you just mentioned about infrastructure-led corridors. Hmm? So can you talk a bit about how do you select certain land parcels, which cities, and what is the rationale behind that?
See, historically, quality infra has been a major driver of land value appreciation anywhere. So how does it actually impact? If you get an information early, so suppose I say that Jewar airport is coming, around Noida, or somebody says that Navi Mumbai airport is coming. So at what time of you buy into that story and invest leads to that particular appreciation, right? So today, if you look at if you want to invest in Jewar today after the airport has got operational, so from now in next 5 years you won't get that appreciation.
True.
But before 5 years of operation, whoever invested, they had multiples, 2 times, 3 times.
Hmm.
So when I sit with people, they will say that I got 3x, 4x, 5x. So the entry point in that particular journey of information is very important. So we are uh, investing in the five markets: Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad. And in these five markets, we are investing in those micro markets where infra is leading to an exponential growth.
Hmm.
For example, Devanahalli area north of Bangalore around the airport. So you have got airport expansion happening. You have Foxconn and other units coming in. You have got STRR. So many projects are coming up. So earlier we came from that early age of ours. If you look at our 20s and 30s when we were there, 20 years back, 30 years back, foundation stones were laid. Infra projects would come, not come. There was uncertainty.
Hmm.
But today, thankfully, projects are getting announced, projects are getting completed, and thankfully, due to so many YouTubers and even you can go to Google Earth, you find actual site progress, and you can do your own due diligence and get the information whether this project is really happening or not happening. So these informations are very critical in our investment journey. We luckily had a journey of great network deployment in the country. We have good sources of information. We use that knowledge into these investment strategies.
Yeah, true. I think these are the growth corridors, the future of the nation. So, so, uh, so, okay, the selection of cities or the regions is one thing, and then you specifically chosen plots as a real estate investment. Can you share your views around that? Why not say commercial property or residential property, apartments or warehouse? So there are many various means to invest in real estate, and why plots in this fund specifically?
So Vivek bhai, you also come from Shell background. Uh, I also come from Shell, which was a Fortune 1 company, and then I also went to another Fortune 1,
Hmm.
which was Walmart. The secret sauce these companies always had is a great network strategy before starting any project. And the network strategy defines what product you want to launch, and then the network plan comes as to where do you want to launch,
Hmm.
and the network strategy drills down to people, resources, everything comes into picture. So here also we took 2 to 3 years time to design as to if we have to have a real estate AIF, what should be that be around? What should be the product thing?
Hmm.
What should be the we did our own research and we saw that at Wealth Company we are great value creators. We are wealth creators, and we have done a great job in other series that you know. So we were looking at a particular product which can give a very fast exit to the investors and a great return. Both combined, what should be the thing? So plotted developments generally require lower execution complexity, lower construction risk, and a faster monetization than vertical residential or commercial projects.
Hmm.
So demand for a well-planned plotted development has increased as buyers seek flexibility, larger living space, lifestyle-oriented developments. So and this also helps them in good capital rotation. So we looked at the ease of execution, the speed of execution, the faster turnaround. So looking at a 3 years horizon of exit that we want to plan, this is the product category we thought we should get into.
Certainly. I think there is a shortage of good plotted developments across India, and there's an increasing preference, especially for second homes or retirement homes.
And if you look at the prop equity report, which says that 2.44 lakh crore of plotted development has been sold.
Hmm.
So post pandemic, things have changed a lot for second home, for vacation homes, for staycations. So there's a different, and I personally believe that plotted development is also a great investment opportunity. So if you look at one of the market leaders in plotted development, House of Abhinandan Lodha, for example. So the kind of pitch they do is around plots as a great investment tool, you know. So that has really propelled them to a different league altogether, because you have a real asset also as in a portfolio.
A generational wealth in
So
a way. Yeah.
generation wealth. So we had an agrarian society where we had zamindari, zameen, and ancestral wealth, but everybody migrated to for their own roti roti to different corners. But in the corner of everyone's heart, there is a deep desire to own a piece of land, and land can pass on from one generation to another generation. It always remains,
True.
and especially if you look at India being the seventh largest landmass, but only second in population, that shows the density disparity of how much land we lack, how much land ownership. So seventh in area and second in population. You imagine the demand supply gap of land versus the desire. So I think this is more of a want now than need.
True. So, talking out of creating value, I think we are aware Wealth Company has another AIF, Bharat Value Fund, that invests in unlisted securities, and those companies will go public in say about 3 years' time, kind of pre-IPO. Are you talking about a similar kind of journey for this, like from raw land to a plotted development?
So as I was mentioning about the power of information about infra that leads to us leveraging that information into creating a value. So uh, in the pre-IPO stage when we invest, it is the power of knowledge as to this particular uh, entity, this particular company, this particular firm is going to go great guns. So the kind of private equity mindset that we apply in deep research, which of course comes from our great experience in the investment banking side with so many SME IPOs and all. So when you have a private equity mindset and you apply that into your different verticals, then your decision making matrix is never changing, because what you end up doing is identifying the right opportunity at the right stage of investment. Second is you always want to ring fence the risk for your investors from all sides, right? Because in a fund, we have a fiduciary role of managing the fund for you. It's not our money, it's money on your behalf. So, the entire mindset, the DNA of the wealth company, I would say, is great returns, great value creation, and the speed of turnaround time. So the deployment story, the mindset, the decision making metrics, all that remains same. And I'm very hopeful that the same kind of a great return is something which will continue the trend here also. And the team, we have met everybody right from Madhu and Shad and everyone. So from us as a group, the mindset and the DNA is surely great compliance, amazing. We have a calculated risk taking capability, but the most important thing is the leveraging of knowledge and mixing everything together to create a good product.
Mhm. And to that effect, I think you have come up with an interesting structure of the investment, the LLP structure, SPV. Can you share something about that as well?
See, each investment is housed in a dedicated special purpose vehicle, SPV. Okay. Ensuring that every project remains ring fenced with its own assets, own liabilities, and own cash flows. The LLP structure provides operational flexibility, uh, governance efficiency, and within the applicable regulatory frameworks, right? So this whole combination of LLP enhances transparency, simplifies monitoring, and protects investors from risks arising from unrelated projects. So, and everything is centered, and it is ending at the SPV level itself, right? And for the tax part also, it helps because the tax is a pass through. There is no double taxation, right? The whole tax is absorbed at the LLP level. So it has been designed very well to mm, eliminate any kind of risk liabilities arising out of any project related issues.
So understand. So I think we have already talked about selecting micro markets across India that are promising. The second aspect here is uh, selecting a co-developer. So that is also important for the success of the project as well as fund. So please, can you share your views around that as well?
We are choosing developers who have got a good track record for minimum 10 to 15 years of being in that market, understanding the customer need, so that our exit will be through the sales of plot, right? So when we talking about sales of plot, the developer brand, the developer's efficiency of managing the cash flows, the track record, all that plays a very important role. And we have chosen developers where the second generation, again the same private equity mind of pre-IPO, where we choose an entity where the young people are running the show. Uh, Here also we have chosen those developers where the second generation, the new generation, has taken over the reins, and they're doing the execution. So that mindset of Gen Z, millennial kids, passion in execution, brand, everything is coming into picture because the new generation also is very passionate about his or her own growth. So we have chosen the developers selectively and very rationally, again, with a good proven track record in the micro market for the sales to happen properly and in a good velocity.
Correct, I think well understood. So going forward, let us say that co-developer is already selected. You enter into a SPV structure with them, and you get a majority holding and the rights to the land as well. Then the next part comes is how to manage the project. Yeah, so the land has to be converted to plots. So what role does Bharat Bhoomi Fund play here? Say from the time the land is acquired to the time that plot is sold.
So the first and the foremost, I think, since we have got a great research team in house also in terms of, so the product design in terms of in that particular micro market, the kind of plotting that we need to do. So whether it will have a 20,000 square feet clubhouse or what kind of landscaping to be done, what kind of thematically we have to develop. One thing is very clear that what we have done is we have chosen locations with a great natural beauty, and surrounding has to be very very good lush green. So that is one thing we have taken care of. In the deployment and project management, we have with us Vinit Tiwari has joined us, was the real estate head for Amazon India. And when you are doing, a project in Amazon, or even he was in Walmart also earlier, so you learn the ropes of the project management in terms of the time, cost, and objective, all three to be aligned. And so we have got a great team already in place who has been uh, excellent in choosing the right land parcels from a legal and a regulatory point of view, so that you have fit for purpose land, because our land that we are acquiring is all, so at the entry stage only we are having non agriculture land, we are not entering any land which has to be converted. So as we say in our team, hope is not a strategy कि आप जमीन आज ले लो, होपफुली ये कल कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा, नहीं, हमारे पास होप नहीं है, हमारे पास रियलिटी इज द रियल थिंग. सो हम जहाँ पे जाएंगे, कोई भी ज़मीन जब तक वो कन्वर्टेड नहीं है, हमारे लिए फिट फॉर पर्पस नहीं है, हम उसमें एंटर नहीं करते, हमारा पहला चेक नहीं करता कभी भी वहाँ पे. सो वी आर एंटरिंग एट अ स्टेज वेयर लैंड इज फुल्ली कन्वर्टेड, लैंड permissions and approvals risk is minimized, land is fully in possession of the landowner from with whom we are signing the deal. So these risks are mitigated. So we have got a deployment team which is fully into this. We have got a great set of legal advisors and law firms who advise us on the legal part. There are permissions and permit architects whom we call permissions and approval. They are on our partnership program, and we have the developer team also, which is in house, having its own set of architects for the designing part. So we play a big role in terms of due diligence, the cash flow design, the pricing entry as to what price we should launch the product, and what should be the graph of price increase or uh, in 3 to 4 years journey. Everything is designed very well. So developer is basically interested within the plot execution, operations, and sales. We play a big role in terms of an entire project management with him, shoulder to shoulder. We have got a great oversight mechanism by which we will be there in the reviews. We will be part of the sales strategy, and continuous monitoring will be there from our side. And we have got a capable team for that.
So in real estate, velocity is important. Yeah, so how fast the property is being sold. So yeah, I guess you will invest across India in say 10, 12 land parcels. So at certain places, locations, the sales is not happening as fast. So what happens like to the investors' money? Or what corrective measures you can take at your end?
So what we have done is actually is that of course from our side we have taken all the right, on paper I would say we are all right in terms of choosing the right market, right developer. We are also going to only those micro markets where the pricing is established that इतने में तो माल बिकता ही बिकता है. अगर हम मैं 5,000 रुपये बोल रहा हूँ कि हमारा बिकेगा, तो भी हमने हमने जहाँ पे अभी साइन किया है, for example, we have assumed 4,500 as our starting point of price. Whereas the neighboring site is they are selling 5,500, 6,000 also. So we are being conservative in the entry price point also, saying that fine, we will ramp it up properly because our IRRs are already very healthy. We'll do a proper pricing strategy of proper ramp up way. Uh, what we have done is that we have also have an agreement with the developer saying that he will have a uh, buyback option in case the sales at the end of 3 years, if there are any remaining inventories, he has a, he has to buy back the remaining portion of the inventory, uh, and the price points are already agreed upon because there is a ramp up. So anyways our sheets are properly worked out, so we take 3 to 4 months of only pricing strategy working because of this particular issue of what will be the buyback option pricing and everything. So we have got a proper ring fence enforceable thing, and in the worst case scenario, it will be only be a sale of means velocity hit. Otherwise, the land is already in our books always. The SPV is holding the land, and it is a highly collateralized investment because the unit holder of AIF is holding the units share in the SPV. SPV is holding the land, so you have the entire thing very well sorted out.
Yeah, that's good. Understandable. So the fund tenure is on the PPM is I think 5 years. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
But the you are expecting to return the money in 3 years time, and there is a provision of a coupon as well after 1 year.
Yes. So what we have thought again, there are so many unique things in our fund. One of the unique, of course, is again we are not asking people to wait till the exit for payments. So what we are doing is that the first year we have got coupon. Uh, the second year we will have again coupon plus dividend both from the because we will have sales of the project from the project also, and third year we will have complete exit. This is the planning that we have done.
Full
So
full
from the
full,
entry point,
full payout at the end of third year.
full payout, right? So there's no reinvestment and all that we are planning. We are saying full payout, and that's why when we are thinking on this 3 years timeline, From that 3-year timeline, we brought this particular theory of what kind of product we should get into.
So Rakesh ji, so this fund is suitable for what kind of investors?
So there are two set of investors who are purely investment minded, return minded, कि भाई कहीं भी लगवा दो, return चाहिए मेरे को. And second is, I always wanted to get into real estate as a in my asset portfolio. This suits me well, and as you know, just like different indexes, there is also something called uncertainty index. So as uncertainty increases, people move towards the real assets because दुनिया हिल जाती है बट वो एसेट वही रहता है. And I keep on telling people that real estate has got the word real in it, right? बाकी आप चाह के भी रियल म्यूचुअल फंड, रियल कैपिटल मार्केट, रियल एसआईएफ नहीं बोल सकते हो. रियल एस्टेट में ही रियल बोल सकते हो, राइट? क्योंकि वो सब कुछ चला जाएगा, वो धरती वहीं रहेगी, वहीं पे स्थिर. तो उस वे में एक काफी रुझान है लोगों में आज की तारीख में, बिकॉज अभी जो ये साल जो गया है 2026, लोगों में वो चिंता है कि अब मेरा पोर्टफोलियो कहाँ रहेगा, जो क्योंकि जो 5 साल में लोगों ने जो पोर्टफोलियो देखा था अपना ग्रोथ होते हुए, और जो अब उनको लग रहा है, तो एक असमंजस में है लोग. और आप देखेंगे लास्ट 5-6 महीने में भी काफी अच्छे AIFs आए हैं रियल स्टेट में, फुली सब्सक्राइब भी हुए हैं. आप अगर रीट को देखेंगे, रीट में भी इतना ज़्यादा रुझान लोगों का आया है बिकॉज अगेन रियल स्टेट है. सो ऑफ कोर्स इतना कम यील्ड होते हुए भी रीट में लोग जा रहे हैं.
प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी है, प्रेडिक्टेबल इनकम.
बिल्कुल चीज़ें हैं, क्लाइंट है, टेनेंट है, मतलब यू कैन प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी इज देयर, राइट? सो आई थिंक रियल स्टेट एक लोगों के जहन में है कि ये होना चाहिए मेरे पास, और इसका एक भी पोर्टफोलियो अगर है, सो पूरे प्रोडक्ट मिक्स में एक अच्छा प्रोडक्ट मेरे ख्याल से ये रहेगा लोगों को. और अगर इसको मार्केट करें कि आप एक तरह से ज़मीन के मालिक भी हो रहे हो, राइट? कई लोग बोलते हैं मुझे ज़मीन में डालना है, ठीक है भाई, आपका जब पैसा ज़मीन में जा रहा है, राइट? और ज़मीन बेच के वापस दे रहे हैं आपको, तो ज़मीन ही में डाल रहे हैं, ज़मीन बेच के आपको वापस भी दे रहे हैं, तो ज़मीन का ही खेल है पूरा. तो ज़मीन का शौक आप पूरा कीजिए, एक्सपर्ट्स के साथ चलिए, वो आपका पूरा सर का दर्द अपने ऊपर ले रहे हैं, कंधे पे पूरा बोझ वो लेके चल रहे हैं, सीने पे भी बोझ हो के लेके चलने वाले हैं. और लास्ट में आपको जो एग्जिट हो, जो सबसे ज़रूरी होता है कि कभी ना कभी तो आप बेचोगे, निकलोगे, रिटर्न पाओगे, तो ये अच्छा एक माध्यम रहेगा मेरे ख्याल से.
नहीं, आपने ठीक कहा. जैसे कोई एक इन्वेस्टर है, रिटेल इन्वेस्टर, उसको कोई प्लॉट खरीदना है तो उसको खुद ही जद्दोजहद करनी पड़ती है, जाना पड़ेगा, देखने पड़ेंगे, फिर उसका टाइटल ठीक है कि नहीं है, खाता बराबर है कि नहीं है, उसको फिर वो लोकल ब्रोकर से डील करना पड़ेगा, गवर्नमेंट अथॉरिटीज से.
अच्छा, वो बेचने जाएंगे तो बेचने में मतलब सबको खाली बोलने में अच्छा लगता है कि मेरा प्लॉट आज इतने का हो गया है. आप जिस दिन बेचने जाएंगे वही वही बंदा बोलेगा नहीं सर, अभी वो रेट था मगर आज थोड़ा माहौल खराब चल रहा है यहाँ पे.
मंदी है, अभी मंदी है. खरीदने जाओगे तो तेजी है, बेचने जाओगे तो मंदी है.
बिल्कुल.
In that, मतलब I think a lot of our viewers would have also experienced the same. There is a lot of hassle in going through. और आपका जो LLP स्ट्रक्चर है, इसमें टैक्स पेड होगा फ्रॉम द फंड साइड, तो उसको कोई टैक्स भी नहीं है, एंड ऑल द मनी गोज टू द बैंक, है ना. इट इज नॉट सो कॉल्ड कलर्ड मनी इन एनी वे. प्रॉपर्टी में बहुत सारा देखने में आता है, बोथ इन द बाइंग एंड सेलिंग साइड. ये पूरा कंप्लायंट प्रोडक्ट है.
कंप्लायंस में कोई कमी नहीं है. कंप्लायंट हम लोग का धर्म है यहाँ पे.
तो एंड आप भारत भूमि फंड के बारे में क्या बोलना चाहेंगे इन समरी, इफ यू वांट टू समराइज?
सर, मेरा ये मानना है कि इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसिप्लिन को हम लोग लाए हैं रियल एस्टेट में वेरी क्लियरली. सो एक डेवलपर लेवल रिटर्न बिना डेवलपर बने हुए आपको अगर पाना है, तो इससे बेटर अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं होगा, बिकॉज हम आज जो प्रोडक्ट की डिज़ाइन भी है ऐसी है कि यू आर गेटिंग अ डेवलपर का रिटर्न with a institutional backed team with that thought process, or we are betting on the India's growth story, right? So आप नंबर्स की बात करो तो इतना बड़ा नंबर है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फंड का। आज सिर्फ और सिर्फ मुंबई एरिया में 12.26 लाख करोड़ का, 12.25 लाख करोड़ का एमएमआर रीजन के आसपास 5 साल में डिप्लॉयमेंट हो रहा है। तो यू लुकिंग एट नंबर्स व्हिच आर अनइमेजिनेबल, and what these numbers are going to bring on table in growth, in new opportunities, it is immense. So मैं यही बोलना चाहूँगा कि एक ऐसा फंड जहाँ पे रिस्क मैनेजमेंट, ट्रांसपेरेंट गवर्नेंस, स्ट्रक्चर्ड एग्जिट सबका मिलन है, तालमेल अच्छा है, और वेल्थ कंपनी के बारे में सबको पता ही है। इट्स ग्रेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन टू बी। तो एक पूरा टीम ने अच्छा क्यूरेट किया हुआ है, एंड दिस विल बी अ वेरी यूनिक अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर पीपल हु आर ट्राइंग टू मेक वन मोर asset class or investment class in their portfolio. It will be great.
I think one can also say in a low ticket size of 1 crore, one can have access to real estate across multiple cities in the form of a plot. अब 1 करोड़ में आपको प्लॉट ढूंढने जाओगे नहीं मिलेगा, बहुत सी जगह नहीं मिलेगा आपको।
नहीं मिलेगा। 1 करोड़ में आपको एंड सेफ पार्क्ड है, मल्टीपल एसेट्स में इन्वेस्टेड है, एंड डाइवर्सिफाइड है, बिल्कुल कंप्लीटली इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज्ड प्रोडक्ट है। उसको I think it's a great opportunity.
So, Bharat Bhoomi Fund invests in form of equity instead of debt that is prevalent in other AIFs.
So we all our investments are going to be in equity only. We will be investing as an equity partner. Our debt is something we're not going to be a debt fund at all. Very clear, because we are very confident about one thing, that is execution. We are very confident about being on the field and running the show on a day-to-day basis, very clearly. So in debt, I do see that the kind of returns that we want to create for our investors, we cannot fetch it in a pure debt fund. I think that is not going to be the kind of IRRs we want to hit. That's something not possible in a debt fund for us.
So can we say it's an equity focused, exit oriented CAT 2 real estate AIF?
Yeah, it's a plotted development focused CAT 2 AIF with investment in equity mode in every SPV that we form for every project, for each project. So that's the right way, I can say.
Thank you so much, Rakesh ji, for being part of this interview.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and sharing with us the various features of Bharat Bhoomi Fund and how the real estate industry will shape up in future.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar, for sharing your insights. Today's discussion helped us understand that professional real estate investing is not just only about buying land or property. It is about identifying the micro market, entering at the right stage, partnering with the right developer, managing execution, controlling cash flows, and planning exits carefully. For investors, it is important to remember that AIFs are sophisticated investment products. Returns are not guaranteed, liquidity can be limited, and suitability should be evaluated based on the risk profile, investment horizon, taxation, and overall portfolio allocation. Thank you for joining us on Platizio Alternatives. We will continue bringing expert-led conversations on alternative investments, specialized funds, and emerging opportunities in wealth creation.